everyone, this is Casper the Boy Diviner here today, and I wanted to show you guys my tarot book collection. Alright, some caveats here. I'm not going to cover most of the companion books that come free with the deck. So far I haven't found any that really super resonated to me. There's so much so that I'm using terms from it in my other tarot decks. Most of the time I find it very interesting to read when it's specific to the deck itself. So it's not that I don't enjoy it, I'm just going to cover the more general tarot books that I own. Alright? And I think I'll be talking about those that are sort of my favorite at the moment, those that I'm reading at the moment. Some of the mainstays in my collection, even though I don't really use them as much. And then I'm going to cover some books that actually I don't really super enjoy, those that I haven't really finished, I have not worked on too much yet, and also those that I have actually personally sold away because they didn't work for me. Alright, and those I don't own anymore, so I'll be putting a picture up somewhere. Alright, okay, so I think the first book I wanted to cover today, which might be helpful for beginners, is this one, Dusty White's The Easiest Way to Learn the Tarot Ever. Alright, it's such a corny name, but it is a wonderful book. It's more of a workbook than a actual super in-depth book by itself. And I'm terrible at workbooks. I'm sorry about that. If you take a look, I probably, you see, I haven't filled up anything. Alright, I think I did a few pages and then I gave up. But what I like about this deck is that it gives you a lot of exercises. So to be very honest, I kind of wish the book ended in the first quarter or the first third, where they were all about the spreads that he suggests using. I didn't need all this, alright? But again, for a beginner, I'm sure some of the descriptions here help you with the RWS and understanding it. I just didn't find that super useful. Alright? So what I enjoy about this deck is not this deck, I'm too used to talking about decks, but this book is that they give you interesting ways to practice. So basically you can take a deck and just say intuitively what comes out and just practice with one card, then 2 cards, and then 3 cards. I guess you don't really need someone to teach you this, but this book really encourages you and gives you examples about how he would read 2 cards. There are also interactive exercises to do with other people if you have friends who study the tarot and is willing to study with you. So far, none of my friends are interested in doing this book with me, so, well, too bad. None of my friends in person, at least. Alright? But I really recommend this book for beginners. I didn't get it when I was a beginner, but I saw this book shared on Sacred Space Japan's, and I felt like it seemed like a really good book to actually try out. This book has a sequel, and it's called The Advanced Tarot Secrets. And honestly, I have not worked with this book too much, but I think overall, based on my impressions of this book, it is better than this one if you are a more advanced reader, because they don't cover that card by card meaning. So when I see, it's like I want to see the connections between the tarot by now. I don't find the card by card thing really helpful. So I like this book, and I intend to go through it more. You see, they have new exercises that built on the previous book. So the hero and the sidekick. So you take out 2 cards, one is the hero, one is the sidekick. What does it mean? And then you do it again and again, and you switch hero and sidekick and hero, yeah, I love it. And it also talks about getting to know your deck better. Also covers what T. Susan Cheng would call backwards tarot. Like if you see something, what is a car in tarot, then you have to think about it it's the Chariot maybe, or maybe it's the 6 of Swords because it's like a taxi going somewhere, you have a ferryman. Things like that. I do enjoy this book, and I really wish I could work with it more when I have more time. But currently the book that I'm most obsessed with, I just mentioned the name, right? It's Tarot Correspondences by T. Susan Cheng. I really like this book. But for anyone who reads this book, if you're a beginner, I don't know how useful it would super be And honestly, when I first got this book, I didn't get into it at all until I realized that the second half was more my thing. All right, the first half of the book is all the references. All right, so if you're really super good with astrology, Kabbalah, and things like that, I think all this you will love. All right, but what really helped me get it was the second part of the book, part 2, the reader's guide to using correspondences. In my opinion, this should have come first. Alright, so when I started reading this, I'm like, okay, that's why the tables are there. This is what I'm supposed to do with the knowledge that I'm trying to learn from this book, you know? So she goes through step by step, alright, like the elemental correspondences, each suit. Then she dives into the astrology, and then the numerology, the Kabbalah. You know, she goes deeper and deeper and layers things on. So I love it. You know, you see, she also even has a chapter about putting all these correspondences together. Alright? And then creative techniques, which I think I want to get into more. I've been trying my best to write more like poetic tarot readings. I used to want to be a writer. I used to write short stories a lot. And I'm kind of doing a Langleaf kind of tarot thing on my Instagram. So if you are interested, follow my Instagram at Boy Diviner. Alright, I will make the spread itself, and then the next one would be a short couplet or a short poem. There's been a few that I've really enjoyed and really hit hard for me. Okay, so back on track. I love that book. Everyone should get it. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is a reference book, and I think it's wonderful. It's Holistic Tarot. Alright, when I got this book, I wasn't an annotator because I didn't want to dirty my book. I didn't want to put post-its in it. But now, you know, I'm gonna begin. I have started making like highlights of things that I find important. If anyone is to get a book explaining each card one by one, I think this is the book you should get. But what I really wish this book was, I wished it was split into 2 because it's such a hefty book. I can't bring it out to study. I wish part 2 would be the, what does she call it? The Cyclopedia of Card Meanings. And then the rest of the book about spreads, about things to think about how you want to approach your reading, about the history of the tarot, you know, using tarot to build resilience, professional development in the tarot, ethical considerations, things like that, all should be a second book. Also, if you are an esoteric reader of the tarot, you might not enjoy some of the tones that Benebell Wen uses in this book. It's just because I think she explained this many times in her videos. When she wrote this book, she was a bit embarrassed about her more esoteric side. She wanted to present that analytical side of it, and that's why she wrote that book in that sense, just to try to gain more clout. And if you know of her latest offerings, you know she's like super into the woo. So, but sorry for rambling again. This is a good reference book, and I think everyone should get it. And I wish I spent more time reading into some of the things that I didn't really understand when I first got this, because I was like a pure beginner. This book has been with me from the start, 3 years ago. Alright? Yeah. See, the value of meditation to tarot practice. This is a chapter I did not read at all. So I need to get into this book again, along with Advanced Tarot Secrets. Let me put it aside so that I remember what I said in this video. Sorry about that. I just knocked into the camera. Hope everything's okay. Yeah, as you can see, my table is crazy full. Okay, the next book I want to talk about is Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot. Thoth? However you want to pronounce it. This is by Lon Milo Ducat. Alright, Lon Milo Ducat is a super accessible guy. He's funny. I really enjoyed his Kabbalah book, Chicken Kabbalah, the first one. The second one wasn't great. It wasn't my thing. But the first one was great, and this broke down everything so nicely for the Thoth Tarot. I really loved this book, and I learned a lot about the Kabbalah from this as well. You know, he covers the cross that's behind of the backs of the decks. He covers every single card, and he draws from, of course, Aleister Crowley's own book about the Thoth Tarot. Alright. He also talks a lot about how you know, the artist, I forgot her name, which is a shame. I'm terrible. Harris, Lady Harris. and their discussions. You can see that I have a marker here. Clearly, I have read till this point and then just so like I don't like reading card by cards. I feel like it's so tiring. I want to know the high level overview. Just give it to me. Let me slice it into pieces by myself. But I know I should be reading more about each individual card, and I endeavor to. Again, the Thoth Tarot is already very intimidating. This book really helps to make it much less intimidating. And I appreciate this book for it. Alright? Something I want to dive into. And that brings me to one of the companion books that I bought, which is Book M, Liber Mundi, which is about the Turbulent Mundi Tarot. I've begun reading this book. I do enjoy it. And I think it's just my hang-ups, just my hang-ups on the Thoth Tarot, my fears, because I'm so used to the RWS. Learning a new system is never easy. So this book, I'll recommend if you got the Turbulent Mundi. Alright, and if you don't have the Turbulent Mundi, I'm so sure that this book will give you more insights into the Thoth Tarot. Just that the thing with this book is mostly, again, the card by card meaning, which, like I said many times, I don't really enjoy. And that's why I enjoyed the first 3 books that I talked about, right? Dusty White's books, which does go into one card by one card, but you can safely ignore that. Concentrate on the exercises. For Tarot Correspondences, T. Susan Cheng gives you the top-down approach, right? The elements, the numerology, the astrology. That's why those 3 are my favorite books so far. Holistic Tarot is a great reference and it covers a lot more than card by card. And if you do want a card by card breakdown, I think it's the best because it does have a lot of references, which I appreciate. Alright, if you want to learn about the Thoth Tarot, this too would be great. Okay, I feel like I should have done this summary at the end, but I still have 2 more books to go. Tarot of the Holy Light, I have not begun. This is also another system, and that's why I'm intimidated. I've talked about this in my Decks That Intimidate Me video. But again, this is the continental way of reading tarot. But to be honest, I kind of secretly feel like the Mary L might be related to this system. I don't know, it's just an inkling that I have, so I do feel like diving into this more. Okay, and then now, books that I didn't really enjoy and books that I've given away or sold away. One of the books that I'm trying to read is Psychic Tarot, and this is not a modality that I don't feel that into it. I don't feel that into it. I mean, psychic stuff is not really my thing. Light and shadow reading, not really my thing. Fixed seasons for each suit, not really my thing. I feel like I still want to give this book a chance. That's why I've been holding on to it for so long. But when I hear the word psychic, I don't feel great, even though honestly my my PC's screensaver says psychic reader. But I don't know. I feel like I should give this book more of a chance, but so far I have not really get into it. There are stuff here that, I mean, maybe it's just because I've read the tarot basics. Maybe I should just jump. I should just skip all of that because, I've been reading the tarot for 3 years or more. Yeah, because the rest do sound more interesting, like trusting the sight and seeing the unseen. I like those chapters, so maybe I should just jump ahead. But for now, I don't really have a great impression of this book based on the basics. So if you are a new tarot reader, I don't really recommend this book. Whether I recommend it for someone more advanced, I don't know. Experience the book, buy it, get it yourself, read it. Alright? 2 other books I want to cover that I have sold away. Alright? The first one is Kitchen Table Tarot. Hopefully it'll appear here. So, I think it's written by Melissa Sinova. I think I have a problem. It's me. Alright, it's me. I know a lot of people who enjoy the book. That's why I bought it, because I know the book is enjoyable. And reading it, I do feel her voice is a great voice. She's motherly, she's funny. But what I'm missing from the book is like references. I feel like sharing a story about a card and how it has affected your life and how you interpret it is really helpful for people who are more touchy-feely. I hate saying that, I'm so sorry. Like I'm an empath. Apparently, I'm an empath. But I like references. I like facts. So those books are, while they're too friendly to me, maybe they're not academic enough for my liking. That book is a friendly intro, all right, a friendly intro into the tarot. So if you are a beginner and you want to learn, maybe it's a good book to start with. Really, I'm not even kidding. It's a good book to start with. But when I was reading the book 1 year in my tarot studies, and covering these books already, I didn't feel like it was super helpful to me. It also covered card by card. So it's not a book I can recommend for someone who is more seasoned. Although a lot of people did write reviews saying seasoned tarot readers can read this book for a fresh insight, I feel like I didn't gel with it. So it's me. I like references. I like factual things. I don't particularly like emotional storytelling about a card. And I don't like card by card playbacks. Alright, so all that combined, it didn't work with me. The other book that didn't work with me that I also sold was The Modern Tarot, I think by Michelle T. I like Michelle T. I like her vibe. I like how cool she is. But firstly, in that book, the card images were not something I could relate to. I don't even know if it's a real deck, but it is drawn pretty strangely. I don't know who the artist is. I haven't done much research into that. So that's the first part. And then again, it's similar to the Kitchen Table Tarot, where it's a card by card playback and sharing of stories for each card. Again, now I know I don't suit books like that. So I don't read books that are card by card and it's storytelling, like I had this experience with this card once, like this card is like when I felt sick or something. I feel like it's just not something I enjoy. I enjoy it when my friends tell me, like, personally, like, hey, like, guess what happened? Like, so for example, I had I think I can't remember the two cards, maybe like Knight of Swords reversed and Ten of Wands in a day, and I realized, oh, it's just because I've been constipated the whole day, like things like that is funny to me. Like, I like hearing those stories, but things that are quite heavy or very emotional for the card, it doesn't help me understand the card. It just gives me I don't know. I just don't know. I guess I just don't trust I guess I don't trust my feelings, or I don't trust intuition, and I like references also. Alright, so Michelle T's the book also covers like rituals for each card. I don't know. I guess I'm not like super Wiccan or like love and light and blessings. I don't know. I'm not saying that book is like that. I'm just saying that that's the impression I got reading through it, and that's why I didn't finish it. I couldn't, and I sold it. Alright, I hope people do enjoy it. Let me know if you enjoyed those two books. Let me know why, because who knows, right? Like, hearing what you say and your point of view about those books, I might just buy it and try it again. Because I am interested in the craft, and I'm interested in emotional storytelling. I always wanted to be a writer. But somehow those two books didn't work with me, and these books did. Alright? Minus the books that I haven't read, like this one, the Turbulent Mundi one, the Psychic Tarot. But books that I've read, like this one, almost finished, great. Holistic Tarot, almost finished, great. So let me know what you think about my tarot book collection. Is there something I'm missing that I should really be having? For example, Rachel Pollack's 78 Degrees of Wisdom, I felt like it was good for its time. I tried reading it. I think it's more of the references stuff. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't really work for me as well. But I don't own a physical copy. I do have a Kindle version, I think. So yeah, it wasn't for me. So books like that wasn't for me. I also haven't read anything from Mary K. Greer, so I know that's something missing, and I've been so tempted to get tarot for yourself. But again, as you can tell, I'm terrible with workbooks like this one. So let me know if there's any books you recommend that could help a reader who is at a more intermediate level to level up. Alright? But I think I do have quite enough on my plate right now, so I'm still you know, it's interesting to know. Another book I've been yearning for or thinking about getting is Tarot on Earth by Tom Benjamin. I love his YouTube video. I love his Instagram posts. He is so funny. I just don't know if it comes through his writing, but I've seen people talk about that book and how it help them reading with pips, which I do have problems with. So I do want to think about getting it. At the same time, I'm having problems with Thoth and Continental Tarot, and I have books on them. I just haven't had time to really dig in. So, okay, enough rambling, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you do like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. You know, likes help me out. Subscriptions also help me out. I really will appreciate that. Okay? I don't know how many people will reach the end of this video, so just hope it has been enjoyable. You guys take care. Bye!